Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho and AK Tower Sniper 98, and it's been a long time since I've last done a tell with KDR, just normal commentary, whatever, random gameplay in background. Probably be Call of Duty this time because most others I had Combat Armors in the background, but I think there was one other tell with KDR episode that was actually called COD gameplay, but whatever. Gameplay aside, today's topic is going to be about workaholics and just the overall tendency that some people seem to have. Who, I'm sure we all know those people who seem to be like overachievers, just work way too hard for who they appear to be and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm sure you guys all know at least a couple people like that, and same applied to me. As all my life as I had grown up, I'd been basically surrounded by smart people. To really understand this, we'd have to talk about my kind of like how I grew up, like my elementary, middle school, and a little bit of my high school education up to like maybe sophomore year. And yeah, I was all my life, I guess, I just been surrounded by people who were either as smart as me, like academically, not in terms of like mental stamina or mental like capacity, but like what was on paper, like those people who have advanced a couple grades in math classes, a couple grades, or those people who seem to be really bright in school overall. I was surrounded by them. All my peers, all the people that I knew and I used to hang out with, at least back in elementary school and early part of, or majority of majority of middle school and the first half of high school, I used to be surrounded by them, and they were all my good friends. And it's a weird feeling that most of the time, like, you know, the cliche is that you're in American high school setting and you're not supposed to be part of the nerd crowd. Well, I was, and the whole social environment there was that nerds weren't really looked down upon. In fact, we were kind of idolized, we were kind of glorified because of the fact that the schools that I attended, the students there were very academically minded. So the so-called nerds were like the social elite, like top of the top. You could be like, you didn't even need to have money. The town that I grew up in, it's a very affluent kind of part of town, and I love how I'm mispronouncing my words. And it was kind of weird because, like I mentioned before, if you were one of the smart ones, it didn't matter how much money you had or how much you flaunted your bling bling, so to say. Back when I was in middle school, yeah, there were people who were already doing that. But if you were freaking smart, dude, you were good. Like, you were good to go. And most of the time, people would be like, "Oh, damn, that guy's smart, dude. That guy's smart, yo. Maybe we should hang out with him a little bit." Most of the time, they'd say that only to leech off their homework and say, "Hey, can you do this for me? Can you help me with this?" And what I mean by that is fill in my tell me all the answers so I can write them down. But still, regardless, if you were smart, it didn't matter if you were fucking poor, if you dressed weird. Dude, you're fucking smart. You get to breeze through school and not have to worry about everyone else. Like, oh my god, there's a final coming up. Oh, don't worry, I'm smart. I already studied for it. So I was surrounded by those kinds of people because I myself was one of those at one point in my life. Was one of those people who people looked up to and said, "Oh yeah, that guy's a nerd. He knows what he's doing." These days, I still am in a sense, but I'm no longer. I don't really consider myself bright or smart. I just consider myself just realistic and level-headed. But of course, that's just my own. That's my own description of my own persona, so it could be flawed in that sense. But at one point, I used to be one of those people. And being surrounded by those kinds of people who were either as smart as you or were smarter than you, for like definitely smarter than you, it kind of imbibes, it kind of, I guess you could say, invokes a sense of obligation within you that you need to uphold your social rank among your peers. That, oh, because you're supposed to be a nerd and you're supposed to be really smart, you gotta work towards, you gotta work to keep that prestige. You gotta work to keep that kind of air of academic confidence around about you. And I mean, the rigor of our academia, during even in middle school, required us to to really take our studies seriously. And I was, I was back then, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really know what I believed in. I didn't know where I was headed morally, mentally, and physically. So I just kind of went along with it, because I happened to be as at least as smart as the ones around me. So I just went with them, and just they say that if you hang around people that you want to become, eventually you will become them. And that was certainly true, very true for me. That I was smart in my own right, but I had nowhere near the intellectual stamina or the willingness to devote a lot of my time into studying, because I hate studying, dude. All my life I've always hated studying, and if I don't have a reason to if I don't have an urgent, dire reason to study, I'm not gonna fucking study. I have better things to do with my time. And that kind of obligation of upholding that kind of workaholic prestige, I don't know, it eventually dug into my mind, and it kind of burrowed itself there for all throughout middle school. And I mean, I did pretty well in middle school. I'm not going to deny that. And when I was going into high school, certainly I did relatively well in high school. Not so much during my junior or my senior year, but I mean, hey, everyone slacks off during those times. And in the beginning of junior year, when I realized that, hey, school's kind of overrated. let's just put it like that. I wasn't really too fond of going to college, though it is quite nice here, I must say. And by that point, I was like, fuck school, man. You don't need to go to school to become successful. I mean, there are plenty of examples of people who really, you don't. If you have the smarts and the wits to make it big out there in the world without school, I mean, you don't need to go to school. Most of the shit you learn in high school, middle school, elementary school, maybe even a little bit of college, you're never gonna even use for the rest of your life anyway. So what the fuck is the point? So up until then, though, once I realized that, up until then, I had that kind of self-constructed, and I don't want to say fake, because I genuinely did feel that I needed to work to kind of uphold my prestige a little bit, but it was definitely not natural. I did not have that ever since the very beginning. I had to hammer it into my head, to get myself to say, okay, look, we gotta study, we gotta do this work, we gotta do work, cause you gotta be with your friends, you ain't nothing without your friends. Yeah, look at me now. So, workaholism. That's where I kind of got my first exposure to like just overall arcing senses of like, we gotta work, we have to work, we have to work, we have to work. So even before then, my whole family just seems like they're all workaholics in my eyes, anyway. I mean, this could be a very self-centered view of how I perceive my family, but my mom, her definition of like respite, of taking a break, is, because our family is Christian, going to read the Bible, or go to the living room, read the Bible, or go to sleep, or go to the kitchen, make dinner for everyone else. That's her definition of taking a break, and I can't really fathom that. Sorry, but I don't know. I understand that everyone's different. Everyone has their own definition of what it means to take a rest, to play, to just chill. But to me, that just seems really, really foreign. My dad, Um, God damn, let's not even start my dad. The only thing that he does to take a rest is to either read the newspaper or go to sleep. Those are the only two things that he did up till recently. Recently, he took to listening to music over on Pandora on his computer, or I think he watches some Korean drama and or news shows on the internet now that he's figured out how to stream videos to his computer from like online websites and stuff like that. So up until then though, the only things I ever saw him do outside of like us taking vacations as a family together and whatnot was either go to sleep or read the newspaper. Oftentimes he would read the newspaper while he was in bed before he went to sleep. So that really didn't help my perception of his definition of taking a break either. But any other part of the day, if he's not sleeping, eating, or reading newspaper or on his computer watching Korean drama or stuff like that, he's working. He's working, and of course, there's always people always have their motives of working really, really hard or working a lot more than they should. But in my dad's case, I would have to say that he wants to make enough for the family so he can pay for his children's education and colleges and whatnot. So I mean, even then though, to work that much because normally his schedule was stay at home, and because he's self-employed and he has his office inside our house. Before I moved off to college, he would stay inside the house, get up at like 7, 8 in the morning or so, or oftentimes even earlier, and he just get to his desk, work until like what, fucking 3 in the afternoon, go outside to take a walk in the nearby mountains because our town that we live in has lots of trails and stuff like that. Come back after an hour and then finish off whatever he didn't finish in the morning, and then once it came evening time, he would go hop into his car, drive down to our local YMCA, take a shower there, and then go off to our coin laundry that we used to own. We sold it off now, but we did used to own we did at one point own a coin laundry, and that was very, very hard on my parents. They thought that they initially bought that coin laundry thinking that we would be able to make a good profit off of it, but with the economic recession in I think '08 and '09, it didn't work out too well. So it kind of bombed on them, and up until now they weren't able to sell it off because there was no one willing to buy it. So up until very recently, they had to keep working there, even though they really didn't want to. I could definitely feel that they were definitely wishing to move on from that coin laundry and kind of leave it behind as one of their few mistakes that they've made in their lives that they kind of regretted. But I mean, that's life. We always got to make our mistakes. But between that and his office job in our house, my dad just always working, always working. Rarely did I ever see him do anything else. So I don't know. That, and before he actually became self-employed by founding his own company, he used to work at a company, and I think it was Hanjin Motors or Hanjin Express or something like that, and he those were back in the day. Those were days when I was back in elementary school, and during that time he would be out of the house before I even woke up, and he'd come back at like late at night, oftentimes not until like 11 in the evening. So me and my dad, not there's definitely work to be done in terms of our relationship. So, and because of that, I don't know, I always have this ingrained impression that he always works. He always works. Like, it's almost as if I think that he can't help but work. And I don't know, to me, I know that, or I want to believe that that's not true, and most likely it's not, but I just can't help but think that, maybe he just wants to work. Maybe that's what he feels he needs to do. And to me, I don't really like working. I don't like studying. It's those kinds of things, they're not meant to be enjoyed. At least that's what I think. They work for a reason, and if you don't like it, then well, sorry, you gotta deal with it. Either that or just go out like just ditch college and go find a job, I guess. But that aside, And my older brother, he's kind of like my dad. I don't know. I mean, I know because he's my older brother. Because he, he grew up here for the majority of his life. He likes playing video games. He definitely likes taking his time. I've seen him play StarCraft 2. I've seen him play some Left 4 Dead with his friends over Skype. I've definitely seen him. I played Castle Crashers with him over spring break on his PS3. But he's for one, he's a civil engineer, so his work really demands a lot out of him. So he prioritizes work above all else, to be honest with you, and that's definitely what I kind of drew from him. And especially when he was in college, he told me that after he graduated from college, he told me that compared to what he was doing in high school, his time during college was a lot more strenuous because he attended Carnegie Mellon University, which is one of the top electrical engineering, engineering colleges in general, in the entire United States. And he said that he had to bust his ass to get his bachelor's and his BA and his MA in I think it was electrical engineering. I think, yeah, in just 4 years. And getting your MA and BA in 4 years flat. Of course, you gotta have to become some sort of workaholic in some shape or form in order to pull that one off. He told me how, over the summer of one of his years in high school, or not high school, college, that he, instead of coming home, he just stayed there in Pittsburgh. And he took classes. He kept taking classes, like summer classes, at the university in order to get ahead, and be able to complete his MA course, like his MA requirements for his MA degree. If you guys don't know what MA is, it's a master's degree. And he told me how he needed to take he took a morning course, he had to take a part-time job in the afternoon, and after he was done from that, he had to go attend another evening class, and then after that he'd come home, and the apartment that he rented wasn't necessarily the best. In fact, it was pretty shitty. Apparently the front door didn't lock properly all the time, and he barely had any lighting and stuff like that. So I mean, in my eyes, if that's not a workaholic, I'm not really too sure what else could really constitute a workaholic. And I'm pretty sure by this point I've made the definition of the word workaholic to be a rather negative, with a rather negative connotation. I can't speak today. Actually, in fact, I can never speak because I'm an insocial, awkward asshole. But with all my family and all my friends being some sort of definition of workaholic, like everyone around me is trying their butts off to get ahead in life. They're all studying for the tests. They're all studying to get better grades. They're all working. They're all working to make more money. They're all working to make more money in order to be able to save for retirement and send their kids to college. Even in college, even here, I'm at a very prestigious university where one of their best majors is their dental programs. And all my dorm is filled with people who are pre-dental majors. I mean, technically speaking, I'm a pre-dental major too, but I'm about to switch majors to a history major because I fucking hate bio and I fucking hate pre-dental. But that's my own problem. Everyone around me, all my life, even now, everyone is some sort of fucking definition of a workaholic. Of course, are they workaholics? No, because workaholics, they're not workaholics. They're my age. They're my peers. They need to. I mean, they're not. Most of the time, and most likely, they're not gonna have that strict, stoic mental attitude of the only thing you can do is work, study, eat, sleep, rinse and repeat. Cycle goes on and on. They're not like that, of course. I know that. They, hell, my entire dorm is like a fucking giant League of Legends dorm. We hear people screaming at 3 a.m. in the morning about how some AD carry just botched the kill and just cost them the game. But Workaholicism is, or workaholics, just, I don't sit well with it. Partly because of the reason that I'm a lazy asshole. I'm not really into, working my butt off. But there are times when I myself when the situation calls for it, I kind of pull out my inner workaholic person too. To some extents that kind of scare me. Like, I'm sure some of you guys know, not all of you know, but I'm working on a fan fiction for a Toho project, and over on fanfiction.net. And if you guys are interested in it, then let me know. I'll leave a link to the story in the description. But, like earlier, like yesterday and earlier today, I was really rushing to get that chapter out, not because there was any sort of deadline, not because there was any sort of financial reward that I would get for writing my next chapter for my fan fiction. It was because I wanted to get that out. I wanted to get out that chapter because I knew that people are out there waiting to see what the next chapter is going to contain from my story. They want to see where the story will go on from there. They are fans of my story, and part of the reason why I worked on it so hard for a good, 12 hours or so, maybe 15 hours, I don't know, is because they want to know what happens. And it also, because I know that they want to know what happens, so I work on it so damn hard. That probably didn't really make much sense, but the bottom line is that I really wanted to work on it. There's no other reason. And, people out there, workaholics out worldwide, sometimes their only reason is because they just want to work. For whatever various reason, but their main reason is just because we want to work. Not because, if I study hard now, we'll be a lot more ahead in our academic careers down the road. No. Some people just want to work because they fucking want to. Because they feel that working is enjoyable. And, what I experienced yesterday in completing my last chapter, or my most recent chapter for my fanfiction, was something along the lines of that. That I really wanted to work on it for the sake of working on it. Because writing that fanfiction is very fun for me. And if it's fun, fuck. It's the only reason I'll need. It's the only real reason I ever need. And everyone else for that matter. If you enjoy what you do, then don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't have fun doing what you're doing. Unless, of course, if you're hurting anyone else in the process, or you're being creepy or some shit like that. In fact, earlier today I found some blood on my hands. Like, how the hell did that get there? Like there was some blood smudges on the backs of my hands and my fingers. Luckily, none of it spilled onto my keyboard. That would kind of suck. But like, how did it get there? I don't know. Did I get a nosebleed without knowing it, or like, what the hell just happened? Did someone stab me somehow? Like, my dorm's locked. Those kinds of things just really scare me. That somehow, just because I want to do something, I summon this unexplainable strength that normally I would never be able to call upon if I wanted to. I'm sure you guys have all experienced something like that. Being able to do things, being able to commit yourself in a way that kind of scares you because you've never really done that before. And if you did, you can't control it. Not consciously, at least. That, and I also remember in my freshman year, in the second semester, I believe, second semester of freshman year in high school, one of my classes, or my math class during my freshman year, was Algebra 2 Honors. And I think I received a B last semester, the previous semester, and that current semester I was really, really close to an A, and I really wanted to get an A. Or rather, my mom really wanted me to get an A, let's be honest here. Asian parents, what's new? So, what I ended up doing was, I think for like 3 weeks straight leading up to the finals week of my freshman second semester, I grinded the fuck out of my math textbooks. My mom sat me down in my room, put my Algebra 2 textbook in front of me, and a lot of those, like those study prep books and stuff like that before me. And she said, "We're going to get you that A, or you're going to be getting that A. Study now." So I was like, well, shit. Fuck, man. But I did. I was like, okay, we'll do this. We'll do this. We will go for that A. So for 3 weeks, for at least 8 hours a day, I fucking grinded the hell out of my math textbook. And now that I look back on it, I was like, damn, that's scary. Because what I ended up doing was I ended up going through the entire textbook, solved every single problem. I'm sure you guys who are rather academically inclined, that the math textbooks don't show you the even numbered answers. Like in the back of the book, they only give you like the odd numbered ones. I solved every single fucking problem, even the ones I did, like the really random ones, like the writing problems, like, or some shit like that. I solved every single problem, and I don't even remember how many fucking problems were in that fucking textbook. That, and I solved all those prep books like 3 times over each, and I made sure that every single question was correct. Needless to say, I managed to absolutely ace the final, and it turned out that my final score in the end was an 89.15%, I believe. But because of the fact that I had completely demolished my final test, my teacher, my Algebra 2 teacher was like, "Yeah, I can tell you studied, so I'll give you an A." even though there's someone else here, even though one of your classmates got an 89.99, and not going to give an A because he bombed his final. And I was able to spend the rest of the summer going around with my head up in the air, saying "fucking boss status." Now, whenever I look back on it, I'm scared. I'm frightened by what I was able to do back then. Nowadays, I probably would never be able to do that, because I've just got so much going on in my head, so many things that I want to devote my time to, that devoting my time to simply studying is no longer an option. And in a sense, that's kind of sad to me, anyway. Because even though, yeah, I might have been frightened by what my younger past self was able to do, but sad in a way that, you know, I haven't been able to really amp up my kind of, you know, determination to such levels ever since then. I've gotten close, but not really close enough. Because let me tell you what, normally, like I said, I don't like studying. In fact, I hate it. But during those 3 weeks, I fucking loved it. Because that's what workaholism does to you. You fucking love working, and nothing can stop you. And who will? You're working. It's not like you're playing video games, and your Asian parents walk into your room and say, "You stop playing video games right now, go study your math homework." It's not like I do that. So yeah, in a sense, I'm kind of meh, cause, you know, maybe if I had kept that kind of workaholism spark, that workaholic side of me, maybe I would be in a very different place. And you can agree, or you can not agree, but you can argue that I still have that side, that workaholic side of me. Why? Or how do you know? Look at my YouTube channel. Dude, do you see anyone else uploading so many videos a day? I don't think so. To be able to upload that much, like, I understand that, you know, my videos aren't very heavily edited, and I admit that. I don't really put a lot of time into editing videos. That's just not what I'm known for, and that's not what I do. Because I don't like editing. Editing takes a lot of time, you know? And sure, it may be fun, but me personally, I would much prefer just being able to just produce a lot of videos, just produce a lot of live commentary, stuff like that. Things that people can at least sit back and spend their day watching. You know, it doesn't have to be like a super try-hard Xbox Ahoy kind of video. It doesn't have to be some montage, like some phase sniper Call of Duty montage with 360 YY ladder style no scopes. My style of videos is just very frequent gameplay, very frequent videos, and you know, if you enjoy me watching me act like an idiot, if you enjoy laughing at my antics, my accent, my whatever I do, that's great. That's what I'm here for. And in that sense, my workaholic side is still there. Because yeah, sure, editing videos takes a lot of effort. Editing, like, that kind of stuff. But sometimes people don't really ask very much other than just being able to watch some 10-minute, 5-minute video. That's what I'm there for. And I don't know. Lately, it doesn't seem like people appreciate the work that I do. I'm not trying to say like, oh, you know, everyone hates me, like, why am I a QQ? But in all honesty, like, I honestly feel that if I would upload a little bit less, I would have a lot more subs. Because one of my problems to my channel growth is the fact that I upload way too much for most people's tastes. At least the people who have subscribed to me before. Like, I think like last year there was a point where I was actually losing more subs than I was gaining, because of the fact that I was uploading at a rate where those people who unsubbed just couldn't handle it. Like, they didn't understand, like, why the hell are you uploading so much? You're spamming my fucking sub box, dude. Don't stop doing that. And they would just unsubscribe. I understand that there are people out there who, you know, don't really like, you know, getting their sub boxes spammed, and I understand, or I want to understand. But you know, I don't know. It could maybe be just because of the simple fact that I'm a small YouTuber, that not very many people know me yet. But I don't know. I just, whenever I go onto other bigger YouTubers' channels, I see people scream like, "Oh, more videos! You know, we want to watch more. We want to watch more." And you know, if you call me bitter, then that's totally fine, 'cause I am. Because whenever I read those comments as like saying, "Oh, we want to have more videos. We want to watch more videos from you. We want more," I can't help but think, if you want more, then, you know, I'm here. I upload like fucking 9 videos a day. I just can't help but feel a little bit bitter about that. That even though I love to upload videos, my workaholic side to me has always been one of not really true workaholicism or workaholicism. Yeah, I don't know the word, but it's always been that kind where if I don't see results, I lose my will to work very, very quickly. Fortunately, YouTube is something that I can consistently do, like, anytime I want. It's something I love to do, and recording videos is relatively painless, and so I can afford to devote a lot of my time to doing YouTube. But it's still very disheartening to know that, other people, like, despite me uploading so many videos, because not only am I trying to grow my channel, but also I just love making videos. I just love being able to put up videos and entertain a couple people, put a smile on people's faces. And I don't know, it just sucks. It just sucks being seeing my so-called YouTube peers, if you want to even call it that, become more popular just because they're like a commentator. Good example is fucking UCD. I mean, don't get me wrong, UC and I are great buddies. I don't have any beef with them. We help each other out a lot. I've done his top 5 plays for him. I give him some couple gameplays, and we've even recorded a couple videos together. Whether it be some Left 4 Dead 2 or All We Do Is Win back in the day when it was still a thing. But recently he got his video uploaded to the Mark of J's channel, who is a huge Call of Duty commentator, with around like 250k subs or so. And he does, and Mark of J does this kind of shout out series where he basically shouts out smaller YouTubers because if he thinks that their videos are good enough. And I don't know, I watched UCD's video of when he first uploaded it. It was like maybe a couple of months ago, I don't know, but when I saw that, I was like, well, congratulations, UCD. Like, I'm glad for you that you got shouted out on Market J's channel. But all that just because he's a commentator? I don't know. I really don't know about that. The point of me going off on that tangent about talking about UCD and the Mark of J and stuff like that is because I mentioned before, just earlier, that my workaholicism kind of operates in a way that if I don't see it's like immediate success or tangible success, then it kind of dies off after a while. Now that's not to say that I'm going to stop making YouTube videos. No, that's not an option. I love making videos, so I'm going to keep making them. But all I'm saying is that it'd be very nice to see my channel have some substantial growth, to have the sub base who are considerate, who understand what the effort that goes into my channel of me uploading so many videos. And that same workaholicism comes from my family, just how I've grown up in general, and things like that, like exposure. That sort of exposure when you're really young and you're growing up, really sticks in your head. It's really hard to kind of snap out of that mentality. It's really hard to break the habit, so to speak. So in the end, do I like Workaholics? Or what's my final thoughts on Workaholics? If you want to work, fine, go ahead. And in a sense, you can also call me a workaholic too, because I like to upload a lot of videos. To be honest with you, I don't really consider myself a workaholic. I'm just some guy who really likes to upload videos, and one day hopes to make it big on the YouTubes. That's gonna be it for this. To hell with to hell with KDR. I almost said to hell with commentary. Like, what the fuck? What am I talking about? Anyways, that'll be it for this to hell with KDR episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Good shit.